The alarm goes off, and for a brief moment, before thought arrives, there is comfort. The blanket is warm. The room is quiet. The world has not yet asked anything of you. In that suspended second, your mind makes a decision long before you do. It whispers that 5 more minutes won't matter, that staying exactly where you are is safer than stepping into the unknown day ahead. And almost every time, it wins. This is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is not a lack of ambition. It is something far older, deeper, and more powerful than motivation. It is the reason you know what would make you happier, healthier, stronger, and still don't do it. Your brain loves comfort more than happiness, and it always has. Comfort is predictable. Happiness is not. Early humans did not survive by chasing fulfillment or purpose. They survived by avoiding pain, conserving energy, and staying close to what was familiar. The brain you carry today is still wired for that ancient environment. It does not ask, will this make me fulfilled in 5 years? It asks one brutal, efficient question. Will this keep me safe right now? Comfort usually answers yes. Growth rarely does. In the 1940s, psychologist Kurt Lewin described human behavior as a balance of forces pushing and pulling us through life. Change, he observed, doesn't fail because people don't want better outcomes. It fails because the forces keeping us where we are feel stronger than the forces pulling us forward. Comfort has weight. It presses down on decision-making with the gravity of certainty. Every habit you repeat, even the destructive ones, offers a form of comfort. The familiar stress, the known disappointment, the predictable regret. At least you know how those stories end. The alternative is uncertainty, and the brain treats uncertainty as danger. In 1979, psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky discovered something unsettling. Humans feel losses about twice as intensely as equivalent gains. Losing $10 hurts more than gaining $10 feels good. This is called loss aversion, and it shapes nearly every choice you make. When you consider changing your life, your brain does not compare the potential happiness you might gain. It magnifies what you could lose: your identity, your routine, your sense of control. Comfort may be limiting, but it is known, and known pain feels safer than unknown possibility. This is why people stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, routines that slowly erode their confidence. It is not that they believe this is the best life they could have. It is that their brain has calculated the risk of change and decided the cost feels too high. Neuroscience reveals why this calculation feels so convincing. Deep inside the brain sits the basal ganglia, a structure responsible for habit formation. In the 1990s, researchers like Ingrabiel at MIT showed that once a behavior becomes habitual, the brain runs it on autopilot. The brain activity at the beginning and end of the habit spikes, while the middle fades into silence. Effort disappears. Energy is conserved. Comfort increases. Breaking a habit requires waking the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, restraint, and long-term thinking. But this area consumes enormous energy. The brain, always efficient, resists activating it unless absolutely necessary. Comfort wins again. Happiness, on the other hand, is metabolically expensive. It often requires effort, delayed gratification, emotional exposure, and sustained uncertainty. Even pleasure, when it arrives too easily, fades quickly. In the 1970s, psychologists studying hedonic adaptation found that humans rapidly return to a baseline level of happiness after positive or negative events. The brain normalizes everything. Comfort stabilizes. Satisfaction drifts away. So the brain doubles down on what it knows will reliably soothe it. Routine, distraction, dopamine on demand. Dopamine is often misunderstood as the chemical of pleasure. It is not. Dopamine is the chemical of anticipation. It surges when the brain predicts a reward, not when it receives one. Modern life floods this system with effortless triggers: notifications, scrolling, sugar, shortcuts. Each one offers a small promise: relief without risk, comfort without growth. Over time, the brain recalibrates. What once felt exciting now feels normal. What once required effort now feels exhausting. Motivation drops, not because you are broken, but because your brain has learned that comfort is easier than change. The real danger is not stagnation. It is the story you tell yourself to justify it. I work better under pressure. I'll start when I feel ready. This is just how I am. These stories protect comfort by turning it into identity. If change threatens who you think you are, the brain will fight it with everything it has. The turning point comes quietly. It often arrives not as inspiration, but as discomfort that no longer feels tolerable. The moment when the pain of staying the same finally outweighs the fear of change. This is not motivation. It is neurological math recalculating. In psychology, this is called crossing the activation threshold. The forces holding you in place weaken just enough for movement to begin. Not because comfort disappeared, but because its cost became visible. What changes everything is understanding that the brain's preference for comfort is not an enemy. It is a system that must be redirected, not defeated. Lasting change does not come from forcing happiness. It comes from redefining comfort. When discomfort becomes familiar, it becomes safe. When effort becomes routine, it becomes automatic. When discipline is repeated long enough, it stops feeling like resistance and starts feeling like home. This is why small changes work better than dramatic transformations. The brain does not revolt against gradual shifts. It adapts. What once felt uncomfortable becomes the new baseline. What once required courage becomes ordinary. Happiness is not something the brain pursues directly. It is a side effect, a signal that you are aligned with growth rather than avoidance. Comfort chases the present moment. Happiness emerges when you tolerate short-term discomfort in service of long-term meaning. The mind was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. When you understand this, the inner conflict softens. You stop blaming yourself for resistance. You stop waiting for motivation to arrive. You begin working with your brain instead of against it. The shift is subtle, but profound. You stop asking, "What feels good right now?" and start asking, "What discomfort am I willing to make familiar?" Because the moment discomfort becomes familiar, it loses its power. And when comfort is no longer tied to stagnation, happiness finally has room to grow.